What's up, Gotcha Gamers? U2 here, and today we're going to be talking about all of the best builds for every single hunt character that's currently in the game, and giving my guess at what the best build will be for Dr. Ratio using insider knowledge that I think I know, but it's probably just copium, am I right? But we're going to at least give it a shot at the end of the video, and if you like videos like this, please hit that subscribe button because we have a lot more coming out. We have some on the channel already, and we have just individual build guides as well. On top of that, some other Honkai Star Roll content, so subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, gamers, let's go ahead and get a few things out of the way first before hopping into these builds. First of all, as I always say, subs over sets. Substats are always better than getting set bonuses overall, just in general. Get substats. If you have really good substats on like weird like pieces of gear that are not even like making sense to use, just use it. It's gonna be better. Subs over sets. It gives me the most damage. I preach that. Please use that. Second thing, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The In the Night light cone is the best light cone for every character on this list here. If I don't say it, it's the best. It's a given, okay? I'm saying it now. In the Night light cone is the best. I will be mentioning other light cones that all these other people can use. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into our first character now, Miss Sussy Shang. Alright, so Miss Sussy Shang is a physical type hunt character. Most notably, if her kit, you want to get her to E1. Her E1 is super strong because at E1, whenever the enemy's weakness broken, you'll be regenerating 1 skill point. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about her whole build and whole shtick now. Hopping into those best in slot relics first, which is going to be a 4-piece champion of the Streetwise boxing. This is going to be the best set you can run on her. Obviously, 4-piece physical set, put on the physical character, she's going to pop off. Most of the same thing can be said talking about most of the characters down the list here as well. Now, hopping into that light cone, her best in slot light cone is going to be swordplay. It's going to be increasing the amount of damage she's going to be doing for every time she hits an enemy, the same target. So she gets a huge damage increase bonus from this. If you don't have this, the best free-to-play option here is going to be Cruising in the Stellar Sea. Cruising in the Stellar Sea provides a crit rate increase. On top of that, it's going to be providing an attack bonus as well if she's actually able to kill the enemies. Now, in those planner sets, we're going to be recommending Glameth here, but you can also run Runelint as well. It's going to be depending on what you can actually get in your build. If you're having trouble with getting the speed, then run Runelint. If you're having trouble getting that 70% crit rate, then run Glameth. That's all I can say for that. Now, hopping into those mains and substats now, on the body, we're going to be running crit rate or crit damage, whatever one you need more of, really. On the feet, it's going to be speed, on the orb, it's going to be physical damage, and on the rope, it's going to be attack percentage. Those substats are going to be pretty standard and straightforward all the way across the board. It's going to be crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, speed, and break effect. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Run all these across the board because, I mean, just every DPS is going to run this. That's just to be said. But with her out of the way now, let's go ahead and talk about what is probably everyone's favorite hunt character, which is Seele, the one who started it all off. Now, Seele's best in slot is going to be 4-piece with a genius with a brilliant, whatever the fuck it's called. It gives a quantum damage bonus, and it also gives a defense shred as well. Really super good for her. Now, as far as light cones are concerned, it's going to be her signature light cone or swordplay as well. Normally, she's attacking, you know, one enemy or multiple enemies depending on the situation, but for bosses, this is going to be really good for her. If you don't have those options, like I said, Cruising in the Stellar Sea is going to be a great option for the free-to-play build here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about her planner sets, Glameth or Runelint. Now, I know a lot of people will say Salsado, because Salsado increases ultimate damage, but she uses her skill so much more than she uses that ultimate, that I recommend Runelint over Salsado here. On top of this is giving crit rate, which she kind of needs, and then also Glameth, which gives her an overall damage increase, which could be better for her in the long run. You lose 2% damage at max speed. She gets speed really easily. Hopping into those mains and subsets now, on the body, it's going to be crit rate or crit damage, whatever one you need more of for your ratio. For the boots, it's going to be attack percentage. For the sphere, it's going to be quantum damage, and for the rope, it's going to be attack percentage. The reason I say attack percentage here for the boots is because she gives herself so much speed already. You really don't need to run any extra speed on her. Just focus on the substats, which we're going to talk about now, which is crit, attack, speed, and break effect. Focus more so on getting that speed though, because you want her to be as fast as possible. She gives herself her own speed just in her kit alone, so that's still really good. Just focus on attack percentage on the main stats, and then focus on speed and the substats. Now let's jump right back into the 4 stars with everyone's 4-star favorite base form soy boy, Mr. Dan Heng. Now his best set is going to be 4-piece of the Eagle because it gets him that ultimate that much quicker, especially if you have him E4. I really wouldn't recommend building him if he's not E4 because that's where a lot of his damage potential can actually come from. But yeah, 4-piece Eagle here is going to be absolutely amazing. Obviously in all these characters you can also run 4-piece of the Musketeer, so keep that in mind when building these characters out. Musketeer does come in clutch for a lot of these characters here as well. Talking about his best in slots light cone now, Swordplay. Swordplay just works really well on him. It gives him an increased damage bonus when attacking a single target. Really, really good there. If not, run Cruising in the Stellar Sea is a free-to-play option because it allows him to crit more, and crit's really needed because crit for him slows the enemies, which means his damage will be increased. As far as those planner sets go, it's going to be Glameth or Runelin here. Whatever one you can make work with the best. I think Glameth is the overall better set, but if you can get Runelin more easy than Glameth, then definitely run Runelin. Now, as far as those main and subsets go, it's going to be crit rate or crit damage for the body, speed for the boots, wind damage for the sphere, and attack percentage for the rope. Now, as far as those subs go, it's going to be crit, attack percentage, speed, break effect, just like everyone else. Now, with our little soy boy out of the way, let's talk about someone with almost the thickest thighs in Honkai Star Rail, which is going to be Miss Topaz. She's a follow-up queen. She's getting better. She's aging like fine wine, but let's talk about her kit now. Her best in slot relic set is going to be the 4-piece Ash set. This is going to be increasing her follow-up damage. On top of that, increasing her attack percentage for every time that follow-up attack hits. So this is going to be super, super good for her. If you can't get that though, then you can also run 2-piece Lava with 2-piece Ash, or 2-piece Lava with 2-piece Musketeer. Never run 4-piece Lava because 4-piece Lava is just really dog shit on her. So don't run that. Anyways, let's hop into those best light cones now. Obviously, her signature light cone is going to come in clutch here. I would recommend running that there if you do have that, but if not, Swordplay works out really good as well. As far as a free play option, obviously Cruising in the Stellar Sea is going to be really good to have here too, because it increases her crit rate, and you know, she needs some crit rate sometimes. Now, those planner sets are going to be Salsado or Glameth. Salsado could be easier to get because it only requires a 50% crit rate threshold, whereas Glameth requires a lot of speed, and the way I run her is I run her with attack percent boots, though I don't really recommend that. I just rolled a lot of good speed subsets. God, look at her boobs. Anyways, sorry for cooming there. Let's talk about the main subsets now. This is going to be crit rate or crit damage for the body, whatever one you need more of. For the feet, it's going to be speed here. For the orb, it's going to be fire damage. And for the rope, it's going to be attack percentage. But now with her out of the way, let's talk about the character you guys probably got when you were pulling for one of these DPS characters, Mr. Yan King, the General's lapdog. Yes, Yang Ching is worth building, guys. He is not as bad as everyone makes him out to be. You just have to build him correctly and have a correct team around him. But let's talk about that build now. 4-piece Frost set is going to be his best in slot set because it does increase the crit damage he's able to do, and he really needs a lot of crit damage because his kit gives him a lot of crit rate. If you don't want to run this though, you can also run 2-piece Frost, 2-piece Musketeer, which is just overall going to increase his attack stat, which is also really good to see there as well. Considering how low his base attack stat is, this can help him out a lot. Now, as far as the light cones go, you can run his signature light cones, Sleep Like the Dead, which increases his crit rate, yippee-doo, and crit damage as well, because it's really good to have. I mean, it works, right? It works. It definitely works. You can run that. You can run Zila's light cone. You can run Swordplay even. Look at all the options you have for Mr. Yan King here. If you want a free-to-play option, just run Cruising in the Stellar Sea. That's pretty standard across the board here. For the actual planner set itself, run Glameth or Space Sealing Station. These are going to be the best 2 sets for him. That's what I would recommend. Glameth because obviously it's an increase to everything. And then Salsado because you increase his ultimate damage. That's really what does the most damage. And also he has follow-up attacks as well, so that also helps there as well. Now, as far as those main and subsets go, for the body, we're going to be running crit rate or crit damage here. For the boots, it's going to be speed. For the sphere, it's going to be ice damage increase, and then for the rope, it's going to be an attack percent increase here. For those substats, we're going to be running the same crit rate, attack percentage, speed, and break effect. But that's all I really have to say about our boy Yan King here. Now, let me give my speculations on what's going to be the best set for Mr. Dr. Ratio. So for his best in slot relic set, I think it's going to be a 2-piece of the Ash with a 2-piece of the banditry set. Now, I'm just speculating here. Maybe that's the best for him, right? But with that out of the way, let's talk about his light cones, right? His best in slot light cone is obviously going to be his signature light cone. If you can't get this, then Swordplay is going to be the next best option for him. Talking about the best free-to-play light cones, obviously Cruising in the Stellar Sea. Unless we get another free-to-play Hunt light cone in the future, then this is going to be his best in slot light cone here. Hopping into now, which is going to be his best planner set. That's going to be Salsado or Glameth, whatever one you can get the best stats of, because, you know, he might have follow-up attacks, and I'm sure his ultimate does a lot of damage too. So, obviously, these are probably the options you want to run here. Now, as far as his main and substats go, on the body, you're going to be wanting to run crit rate or crit damage, whatever one fits you need more, as I say throughout the whole video here. On the boots, it's going to be speed boots. On the sphere, it's going to be imaginary damage sphere. And finally, on the rope, I recommend energy regen because I think energy regen is really clutch to have for any character here. But you can run attack percentage here as well if you want to be a little sweat lord. Anyways, onto the substats now. It's going to be the same as every other character now, which is crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, speed, and break effect. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for how to build every single hunt character today. If there's more in the future, the basic premise of how to build all hunt characters is basically whatever type they are, put that relic set on them and they'll be good to go. Whatever damage they do, put that relic set on them, they're going to be good to go for the most part. And you can get sweaty and run quantums then, of course, but we're not talking about that today. Anyways, that's going to do it. If you want to check out the other build guides we've done, or if you want to check out all the other how to build this set of characters guides, they'll be in a playlist at the end of the video. On top of that, we'll also have a playlist of all my just standalone build guides, because we do have a lot of build guides there as well. Anyways, gamers, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave your comments for all the feedback in the comments down below. And yeah, hope you like these videos because I've recorded 8 of them today so far. So hope you like them, and I'll catch you in the next one, which will be 5 seconds for me, but 2 days for you. So bye.